Hello everybody and welcome back to Wicked-Whiskers. So, if you like boar brushes, you will probably notice that some of them are actually behaving like lather hogs. You start lathering and suddenly all lather disappears, or you don't have enough lather for the second pass, which might be a very subjective feel, because with Omega brush this is not so much in case. As you can see, the loft is very small, the bristles are more natural in color. So basically, when I dip it in tap water, I usually put it like 10-15 seconds and it behaves more or less just like synthetic brush. On the other hand, Semogue 2000, you can see the difference now in lofts, both in size, in width, and not to mention that this is bleached boar hairs. I struggled a lot with this brush to create a nice lather. I used it for some shabby soaps which I just wanted to get rid of as soon as possible. But as you might notice, it seems that in previous days I've been using this brush for quite a lot of time. Results are remarkable, and the first things first, I noticed that these bristles require a little bit more dipping in the water. So I will leave it for now to soak a little bit more, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and we will go back to lathering so I can show you that this is not a shitty brush. So stay tuned. And of course, you guess what? According to my new shirt, this is completely another day, because last time my camera stopped filming. So, anyhow, returning where we started, the brush well soaked, and we will start with Proraso Green. I didn't drain the brush entirely, so as you can see it is pretty soft and watery. So I'm just loading the brush without any excessive pressure or trying to dig out into the soap. So as long as I feel the brush whiskers to gently and softly glide over the surface of the soap, I think it is just enough. One more dip of the whiskers and I will start straight away with face lathering, because the whole idea of proving that boar brush can actually be healed from excessive lather drinking, I thought it would be most noticeable on face lathering. When you ball lather, then you have more space to fix a lot of things. But with face lathering it is a little bit more trickier. So in previous videos, at least on the unboxing of Semogue 2000, I saw this brush maybe more useful for somebody who is head shaving, because it definitely generates way too much lather than is probably needed for regular face shaving. I re-watered it only once. It's just a slight dip into the bowl of water, but as you can see it is very well saturated. Maybe I could play around, add a little bit more water, but Proraso is very slick and not too thick soap, so I won't be risking to dilute it too much. And check this out. Really plentiful of lather for at least 2 passes more, but I don't need that much. So probably the last time with Mercure Progress, it is the 4th, I think, shave with this perma-sharp blade. And like with the brush, I also learned a few new things both about this razor and myself, so this will be topic in some other video. So far we are just speed shaving for the work. I don't remember did I say, but the setting today is 3.5. For a couple of reasons. And one of them is since I never get quite excellent results on the first pass with Progress, I decided to actually don't force it anymore. A very nice frisky sound. So if I would anyhow get, you know, that semi-good shaves with the Progress per each pass, I made a reconciliation with myself and said, well, you will have 2 passes anyhow, so there is no point on higher settings. And that's when I dial it down from my preferable number 4 to 3.5, and somehow I think this is just working as well for 2 passes. Beautiful, beautiful shaving. Now in the break I re-wetted the brush again, because for the second pass I like to have, you see, this consistency of the lather, so just to have some soapiness for easier gliding across the growth, but still plentiful of lather. If I didn't diluted it, it will be probably enough for one more pass. But I really don't need it, so with this prolonged soaking, the Semogue brush is actually, in the last couple of, now maybe even weeks since I published the last video, the Semogue was my daily brush, so I started to enjoy it more and more. And I was thinking maybe I went completely wrong from the start, by comparing it with other brushes. Instead of paying attention to 1 or 2 days to see why it doesn't feel like Omega, and when I discovered that it simply requires a little bit more soaking, a little bit more loading, then I would say that these two brushes, Omega and Semogue, they don't even need to be the same. They are different. They provide different feel on lathering, and depending on the beard growth, I would simply enjoy one or another differently on different days and different occasions. So this is also quite fine. Very efficient on the cheeks. Maybe it has small... it's not even a cut, maybe just some pimple. And maybe it's just the old blade, because I anticipated that this will be the last shave from Progress, so I will clean it later on. So far, super squeaky clean. I think I'm ready for work. And I don't have time for aftershave, but stay tuned, I have more findings and more lessons learned for this channel. So stay tuned and see you next time. Bye.